All right, let's talk about the Lowa Zephyr MK2 Mids. These are the Gore-Tex version. Had these as my duty boots for a little over a year now. In that time, I probably walked or ran with these for about 300 or 400 miles. Temperature range at my base can be almost 120 degrees down to about freezing in the winter. Luckily, we don't get much snow at my base, so that's probably a good thing, especially with these boots. Definitely think if you have a military job that's law enforcement or security, definitely think this is a good option for the boots. And I'll kind of get into the pros and cons here. Definitely the pros, lightweight. This pair weighs 40 ounces combined, which is pretty light, probably my lightest duty boot in about my 7 years in the military. Definitely think also that the traction on these boots is really good. You can't see the wear and tear here, which I'll get in here in a little bit, but definitely the traction is good. I never had to slip on wet surfaces or slick surfaces, anything like that. Definitely think the traction's good to go. Talk about the comfort too. So like comfort, these are almost like wearing tennis shoes, honestly. Probably the most comfortable duty boots I've ever had. And I've had a few, Rockies, Merrills, all the issued stuff from basic training. These are definitely the most comfortable boots I've ever had on duty. Let's go into the cons here. Height is probably my first thing. I get a lot of rocks and debris and all this stuff gets into my boot a lot, especially if I have to run it through like dirt or grass fields on base. If we're doing exercises or I have to go through those areas to search part of the base, things like that. So I definitely think that the height is definitely great in the summer, but as like an all-around like field boot, maybe not the best option. The other part I want to talk about is durability. I'll just show kind of like a 360 of the boots here. Durability overall pretty good, especially with the use in like, I know it's a short time period, but being on an Air Force base, definitely a lot of ways to trash your boots pretty easily, especially on the flight line where there's a bunch of oil and grease and stuff, and all the plane exhaust is just everywhere. Just probably a good way to trash your boots pretty quickly, kind of turn your brown boots to black boots. But durability, the wise stayed waterproof the whole time and never had to retreat them at all. Never had anything on the top part come loose or break apart, anything like that. Only major wear and tear, if you can see back there by the heels. I just noticed that about a month ago, so I guess 14 months of use that started happening. Not sure what happened there. I probably kicked something or went on some sharp rocks or something like that, and probably caused that. But still fine. Still has the water integrity there. Haven't had any water egress issues because of this wear. So would I recommend this boot as a duty boot? Absolutely. But I'm actually gonna go away from these boots in a sense. So gonna replace these boots here for 2 reasons. One of them is, like I said, the height requirement. I got to meet the 8-inch height requirement with the new version of AFI 36-2903. These were not compliant with that. Second of all, I just like the taller boot here. I think it's just better overall if I have to do any field work, kind of like getting out in the dirt and the grass and things like that. Just having a higher boot is just better in general. And I happened to pick up, these are the Mark 1 versions of these. I managed to find these on the internet for about half price. So I was like, hey, I love the boot overall. There's really minor differences between the first and second version of this. I was like, hey, I'm just going to replace it with this one. I'm really happy with just the lower style in general. It's my first time with Lowas with this, the mid cut, but I'm going to try the high cut here, and I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching.